So he says this: if Sabbath isn't a salvation thing and is only for sanctification, then why have a separate church for Torah followers and Spirit-filled believers under grace? Isn't he taking us from glory to glory, each at his own pace? Letting your convictions divide the church is my only problem with the assembly today. Whether someone eats pork or does the Sabbath or not, we should all be of one body and one assembly on one spirit. Could only imagine the glorious things we would see in the body if that could happen. Now, interestingly,
I'm going to need you to translate that for me.
Okay, I will translate that for you. It shouldn't matter if you believe that that the Sabbath should be kept, or that you should keep a kosher diet, or that you should keep the Sabbath or keep the festivals.
Oh,
None
these
of that
are
should
like
matter.
In unity and what is it? Except charity
we shouldn't have separate churches. Everybody should be part of one church. Because we're all filled with the same Spirit, the Spirit of God, and glorified by Christ. Now, I agree and I disagree. I agree with the idea that those who are truly Spirit-filled are all one body. However, I wonder if Cicero here would say the same thing about somebody who is living in adultery, or someone who is an unrepentant murderer. Remember that the Sabbath is one of the 10 Commandments. So let's put it with, what about somebody who is continuing to dishonor their parents and is unrepentant for it? Would the church say that's fine? Let's just keep worshiping together because we're all spirit-filled? No, there's a standard that the Bible puts forward, and I think the reason that you have fellowships that are disassociated from each other, and particularly those in the from a Torah perspective, the reason that you have people who hold to a pronomen theology who have a hard time worshiping on Sunday with people is because not only are you not celebrating the Sabbath, something that has been instituted since creation, which God commands, and is part of the 10 Commandments, but the notion that every single church. Every church that I've been to in the past, I don't know how long, 10, 15, 20, my whole life, anytime you have any kind of a potluck, guess what you have on the table? Something that God calls an abomination and is detestable in his eyes. How am I that's just okay? I think that 6 months ago I would have said, yeah, hey, look, we need to give grace. And I think that we do need to give grace. I think that there needs to be a level of grace. I'm not discounting that. And but I'm starting to feel a shift the pendulum is swinging again. And the reason why is because the more I look at the scriptures and what the scriptures say about things like a kosher diet and keeping the Sabbath, the more it becomes more egregious to me that someone is going to be okay doing something that God calls detestable and an abomination in his eyes. If it's detestable and an abomination to him, should it be to us too? Go ahead.
The meaning of grace, because I like how you brought that up, extending charis, biblically, in my opinion, comes from a person who's abiding in the blessing. They have, because it's not on their own power. We don't offer grace out of the flesh, because that's going to be manipulative. It's going to be seeking reciprocity. It's going to have some sort of ulterior motive. But if it's born of covenant position, of blessing and strength, then that is an extension of grace, is a real thing. And the recipient of that grace then is someone who is believed to be growing in understanding and is weaker and in a position of growing and developing better understanding of who Messiah is. What does it mean to be saved by grace? All these things. It doesn't work the other way around. For a pork-eating Christian to say, "Oh, you're not going to eat pork. You're just, okay, I'll extend you that grace." That's not grace.
Yeah.
For the Christian who loves bacon and pork, and they view their tolerance of Torah keepers, let's say, as extending an extension of Christian grace, that's not sound theology. It doesn't because grace is extended from being within the covenant blessing That I don't know if I said that very clearly.
I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. But I've gone to the extreme in one direction. For those who listen to this show on a regular and they're saying, "What in the world?" Come on, Caleb. Let's pull back for a few seconds. Let's look at the flip side of this. Now, this is the extreme. I have very good friends. I fellowship with people. I have people in my current fellowship that do not have the same convictions as me. I call them brothers and sisters in the Lord. I'm not saying that these works save you or any such thing, okay? I think that there is a epidemic of ignorance within the church. They have fallen to the church, the tradition of church history. And because of that, we do need to extend grace to those who have not been able to work out the biblical truth that we have been able to work out. Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications. And we'll see you in the next video.